Hey everyone, it's the Pig here. How is it going, everybody? Just a very random quick video for you because I've just seen all over the internet, quite frankly, that Liverpool have just completed the signing of Alisson from Roma as their new number one choice for £67 million. £67 million, which is a new world record fee for a goalkeeper. You know, the world record transfer fee for a goalkeeper does no longer belong to the likes of a Gianluigi Buffon or even a David De Gea. I think we paid 20 mil for David De Gea. He is the best goalkeeper in the world. No, it belongs to somebody called Alisson. I mean, when I first heard the rumours about it, I actually thought, hang on a second, is this some sort of an error here? A Liverpool ladies team signing somebody called Alisson, and it's like £67,000 that is the transfer fee? No, it turns out that Liverpool were actually, obviously he's Brazil, you know, he's a good keeper, isn't he? Supposedly world-class good keeper. But he's not the best goalkeeper in the world. He's certainly not worth £67 million. But it just goes to show you, in my opinion, the desperation that Kloppy's got over there in Liverpool at the moment. Because he knows he's got an absolute melter in the sticks. Loris Karius, of course, calamity, Champions League final, calamities pre-season, just a calamity in general, right? Now, he's got to do something about that, doesn't he? If you're a Liverpool fan, you're probably really excited about this signing. You don't really care about the money. From an outsider looking in, I'm looking at 67 million thinking they've been absolutely shafted there. They have been shafted because, like I say, it's not like they spent 67 million on Manuel Neuer or something. You can understand that. Or even David De Gea, somebody who like that, who is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I'm not so sure if he is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I mean, he's got to be for that sort of money, but he doesn't hold the esteem as those sorts of players, does he? Not at all. Maybe this is his opportunity. He is only 25 years old, I believe, so he's still a very young keeper. He could still come into the Premier League here and he could go down as one of the greats. Who knows? But, I mean, I just think they've been bent over there, the Scousers, haven't they? They've been absolutely bent over. They haven't been bothered spending out for years and suddenly they're spunking 67 mil on a fucking goalkeeper. It's quite unbelievable. But yeah, I'm sure he is I'm sure he is a good goalkeeper, but let's just see what happens with them now in the Premier League. I'm sure it's going to improve their side because, like I say, their previous goalkeeper, Karius, just not up to the standard, was he? If you look at what they did last season, you could see that they were very vulnerable defensively. Everybody would agree with that. What did they do? They went out there and they spent a lot of money on Van Dijk at the back there, and he did a really good job of plugging that hole and instantly improving their defence. And I think that's what's going to happen with the signing of Alisson Becker. I'm just going to call him Becker, actually. You know, I know Brazilians, they mix the names up, but I can't take it seriously, okay, because he's called Alisson. So anyway, but I think what's going to happen is he's going to come in there and he is going to instantly improve Liverpool, which I just wanted to make this video really to talk about the transfer, but also to give my opinion on it as a Manchester United fan, because I'm a little bit concerned. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm concerned with the situation right now. You've got the Scousers going out there, spunking 67 million on a goalkeeper, signing other players, bringing top quality players in. West Ham are signing freaking decent players. Who the fuck have United signed? Some geezer called Fred. Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit disappointing, isn't it? It's underwhelming. It's underwhelming, and I want to see more action from Manchester United in this transfer window because we do not want Liverpool closing the gap on us, do we? We want to close the gap on Manchester City. Liverpool want to close the gap on them too. But we do not want the Scousers closing the gap on us, do we? Which at the moment, you know, if they're improving themselves defensively, nobody can argue with their attacking talents that they've got in the side. They're absolutely unbelievable going forward. And it's just that their defence over the last season or so has not been quite to stand. They've got Van Dijk in there, instantly improved it. They've got young players on the flanks coming through there, looking very, very exciting. And now they've gone and got themselves a really good goalkeeper, supposedly. I haven't seen a whole lot of him. Obviously, I'm seeing bits and bobs internationally. But other than that, you know, played for Roma over in Syria. I haven't seen anything from this geezer. So it remains to be seen if he is worth the £67 million. But Liverpool fans will be happy regardless of the money. Do they really care that they spent that sort of money? No, I don't think they do. We wouldn't care if we spent 67 million on a goalkeeper if it's going to improve us. Obviously, we can't improve on David De Gea, really. But if we were in a situation where we had somebody who was a complete melter like a Karius, you know, or Mark Bosnich or somebody would maybe be a good example, then of course we would be over the moon about this signing, because it is a statement of intent. It's a lot of money to go out there and spend in the transfer window, and it really does signal to the rest of the teams vying for the top spot in the Premier League that they are very serious and they are doing everything they can in their power to close the gap. And this is what concerns me as a United fan, because I don't see our side doing that so much in this transfer window. If so, if that is our plan, then we need to pull our finger out immediately and actually sign some players. Because I'm not happy with the players that we got in there. I was at the start of the window, but seeing as all this time's gone on, I was expecting us to go out there and sign, you know, a quality player by now, like a Modders or a James Rodriguez or something like that. Just some exciting player to come in and instantly improve Manchester United. Maguire! Let's go out there and sign Maguire. Do you know what I mean? I think he's proved in this World Cup that he is just an excellent defender in terms of a ball-playing defender, passing, the heading ability he's got. He would be an excellent addition to Manchester United's side. He's a big unit. And you know, I was talking to my brother the other day, and he made a very good point. He said, look at Manchester United over the last couple of seasons. It's not like we've got any balls in the side, is it? It's like, come on, we used to have Keno and Schmeichs and people like that. And then, you know, who we got now? Smalling. You know, who did we have last season? Carrick. You know, Sanchez, he's too nice. Alexis Sanchez is one of the nicest guys in the world. Juan Mata. Are we the nicest team in the world? We need to go out there and sign some bottle, some you know, somebody who's sort of, I'm not going to say tough, but somebody who's not afraid of you know, of getting stuck in there. Somebody who can command the back line, has a bit of a presence, and I personally think that he would be that player. Now we may have to go and spend a lot of money to get him, but that is what I would do, because he's still young. He's shown in the World Cup what a player he can be. He was one of the outstanding players for England in what, let's be honest now, one of the best runs that we've had in the World Cup for a very, very long time. And he was probably the star of the show for us, and he's a defender. I would definitely get him in there anyway, that's all I'm saying. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. I'm going to go back through now and read some of your comments. If there's any Scousers in here, you know, let me know what you think. I'm actually just open to hearing your thoughts and opinions on it. But let's go through some of your comments now. Thanks everybody who's joining me live right now. Do us a favour, chuck us a like on this video if you are tuning in right now. Let's go back through some of the comments here. Alex Rudd with a super chat. How's it going, mate? He says top four will be a battle this season. Totally agree, man, especially when you consider that the other teams up there are signing players. Chelsea got obviously new coaching, new players. Arsenal, who knows what's going to happen with Arsenal? They're a bit of an unknown entity. They could finish 8th this season. They really could. Or they could somehow mount a title challenge. It's just one of those funny situations. That transitional period, Wenger going, new manager coming in, new thoughts, new ideas, new players, new approach. Who knows what they can actually do? They have got a good squad. You know, players like Aaron Ramsey. And, you know, let's not forget about the quality that they do actually have. I mean, it's probably not as good as the top four that obviously in the Premier League right now, but it's not far away. With a couple of signings and a new approach, who knows what can happen with them. Liverpool have showed their intent this transfer window, and they weren't far off last year. Let's be honest now. We don't like to give the Scousers very much credit because they are Scousers, but in all honesty, they were probably the most exciting team to watch in the Premier League last season by quite a long way, really. I know City were unbelievable and they were so consistent, but Liverpool made them look like a, you know, pretty average a couple of occasions last season with their attacking football. And also, like I say, they just have that real attacking, entertaining style of play. If they could shore themselves up at the back there, they're going to be a real worry this season. They are. And Manchester United, on the other hand, what have we really done in the transfer window? Jose, what have you done for me lately? I don't know. You know, I'm a little bit concerned because it's not like the style of football was overly entertaining, attractive, even filled you with confidence last season. The thing that I like about Jose is he is very tactically astute. He's not afraid to play ugly to win. But at the same time, I'm not sure if we've got the quality and depth within the squad in order to really close the gap on City next season and even fight off the pursuit of the likes of Liverpool for, you know, maybe second spot or something. It's like if Liverpool finished above Manchester United this season, regardless of what City do, surely Jose's got to walk, because that would be quite horrible, wouldn't it? Well, considering we spent so much money over the last few seasons. And if Liverpool were able to mount a serious challenge for the title this season and finish above Manchester United in the Premier League table, I don't think we could forgive that really as United fans, because we've got to be doing better than that. I mean, even though Jose's one of the best coaches in the world and all that stuff, it's like you cannot allow Liverpool to make ground up on us. We've got to keep up the fight. And I'm not saying this is going to happen. You know, I still do expect Manchester United to finish above Liverpool, but you know, it's pretty much up in the air. You can pretty much flip a coin about who's going to finish above who at the end of the season there. So yeah. Anyway, let me go through some more of your comments. Everybody tune in. Thanks so much. Sean O'Riordan with a comment. He says United are second most valuable sports team in the world. This is exactly what I was pertaining to the other night. Once United are making money, the owners don't give a shit about success on the pitch and trophies. Well, based on the spending over the last couple of years, I'm not so sure you could say that's true, because it's not like we've been afraid to put our hand in our pockets. It's just this transfer window we're not. I hear you about all the other stuff though. It's like they floated us on the stock exchange. They don't really give a shit. They're basically just selling parts of the club off, in my opinion. And you know, they are just pure businessmen at the moment. It's not like they've got any passion or love for Manchester United, really. I don't think. I think they care more about the bottom line, more about the commercial enterprises within the club, which is why you've seen loads of commercial deals with Manchester United and brands and stuff globally, which is great and everything. It generates money for the club. It brings revenue into the club. But like you say, you make a really good point. We've got to then spend that money and invest it back into the side, which I think up until this transfer window, we actually have done quite to a reasonable standard. I don't think you could really fault the Glazers, fault anybody at the club with their approach of actually putting their hand in their pocket and signing players. Let's not forget we signed Lukaku for 75 mil, Pogba 80 mil, lots of other players as well. So they have spent a ridiculous amount of money. I think maybe over the last 2 or 3 seasons we've spent the second most in the Premier League. Would you say that? If anybody can correct me on that, please do. But I think City has spent a little bit more than us over the last 2 or 3 seasons. But we're not far off, are we? We're not far off. We spent a shitload of money. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think they do give a shit about the success on the pitch, because obviously that does translate into revenue for the club. And we saw what sort of a game changer finishing outside of the top 4 can do to a club like Manchester United, which actually hasn't been that bad, but it did affect some certain deals that we had. I think we even had a deal with Adidas a couple of years back, and it all hinged. There was like, oh, if you finish in the Europa League, you get this amount of money. If you finish in the Champions League spots, then you get this amount of money, which is shitloads more money. So it definitely does make a difference. But I would expect that at a club like Manchester United, they would be putting their hands in their pockets in order to bring the players in. They just haven't done it yet this transfer window. Why, I do not know. It's like they've just been they have just been pulling themselves off for the whole summer or something. Comment from Joel Lewis here. Thank you for your comment, Joel. Comments that says Maguire-Bailey partnership would be a great matchup. Said it before Maguire had a good World Cup. Good shout there, Joel. Really good shout. And good name. It's like my name but with an L on the end. So fantastic comment. I totally agree. What a partnership that could be. Could that be the new Manchester United duo of destruction? The defensive duo of destruction at the back there. You know, we had Vida and Ferdinand. Could this be the new pairing that Manchester United have been crying out for since those lads left? Because since Vidic left, since Ferdinand left, we haven't filled those spots whatsoever. Eric Bailly, to me, is the best defender that we've brought in for years. He certainly should be the man to partner another top-quality world-class centre-back that we can bring in. And you know, I'm not saying Maguire's world-class right now, but I think he's got so much. He's shown so much in that World Cup. He's shown that it's not just about the reputation globally and stuff like that. It's more about his effectiveness. And I thought he was so effective. How many times did he stick his nut on crosses and get them clear in that World Cup? It was unbelievable. How many times did he thread these lovely passes through and dribble out from the back and just show a really great range of passes? He's got a wand on him, that lad, and he's a defender. So I would 100% sign Maguire, no doubt about it. And I think Bailey and Maguire, as you say, could be the defensive partnership that we have been missing since Ferdinand and Vidic. We should definitely go and sign that lad. That's all I'm saying. Poltergeist 1 comments, Chelsea will struggle, Arsenal will struggle this season. It will be City, United, Liverpool and Tottenham going for the title. I'm not sure I can argue with that, really, because obviously there's upheaval at both of those clubs you mentioned that will struggle. Oh, shit. My battery's about to die. Hang on. Is it charging? Charge, you bastard! Right, anyway, yeah, I totally agree with it. I think Chelsea and Arsenal will be the teams that do struggle this season, but surprises can happen. Like I say, new, fresh approaches with these managers, new players, different tactics, systems, all these things, they can really kick on a club. You see it so many times. You see clubs stagnate. They might do well for a season or two, then they stagnate, and then a new manager comes in, freshens things up, and suddenly they're performing much, much better again, and then they can mount a serious challenge again, certainly for any of those clubs. I mean, would it really be surprising if Chelsea did finish in the top four next season? Not really. Like you say, it's more likely perhaps that they will struggle and finish outside the top four, but it could easily happen as well. Another comment here from Kalilu Jajte says, whether in I like your comment, I really enjoy your comments. You are toy with you are telling the truth. Tell the truth, a Manchester United fan. Tell the truth by Jose Mourinho. Fair play to you there, Kalilu. I would say thank you very much for your comment there, and maybe you spell check next time, pal. But no, thank you very much there. Personally, I don't know if what you're on about there, saying tell the truth about Jose Mourinho. I think we've got one of the best coaches in the world. It might not be the most attacking coach in the world, the most exciting coach to have managing your team, but he's one of the best coaches in the world in terms of getting results. His trophy cabinet does not lie. Does it? His trophy cabinet does not lie. I'm a little bit disappointed that there's not any Scousers commenting in here because, you know, I wanted to hear from some of these Scousers, but they're probably too busy out popping up cars on bricks right now, to be honest with you, but because it's night time. You know, I'm only joking, Scousers, but please give me your opinions. If there's any in here, I want to hear what you guys think about the signing of the world record goalkeeper, Alisson. It just makes me laugh every time. It's going to take me a while. Mad Marcus, hi Pig, hi Mad Marcus. Why are you so mad, bro? Justin Wilness comments, the Man United board lack of transfers is a disgrace. Justin, I feel you, mate. I mean, I do think that Manchester United have had a serious lack of movement in this transfer window, and we should 100% have signed another top quality player by now, at least. You see some of the other clubs out there doing it. Why aren't we doing it? Why are we not doing it? It's kind of sickening, really. Instead, we're actually letting players go. I haven't actually even had a chance to make a video about Daley Blind leaving. Just talk about Daley Blind leaving for a second. A bit of a shame, but I mean, it's not really the end of the world, is it? You know, okay, he was good. I enjoyed him playing for Manchester United. I thought he was a great passer of the ball, versatile, play left back, defensive mid, centre back. Really useful player to have in the squad, but it's not like he's indispensable to the club, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's not like we can't go and sign another player that's going to do the job of a Daley Blind, or even have another player at the club already that's going to do the job of a Daley Blind. He was a useful player to have. I liked him, liked the way he played, his personality, everything. But unfortunately, he's gone back to Ajax now. Good luck to him, though. I think Daley Blind did a good job for us under very turbulent times, really, at Manchester United when he came in. And considering all that was going on at the time, how bad Manchester United were, I think he was one of the performers that actually did well for us. Super chat here from Sankar Deep V. Thank you very much, there, pal. He sent me something that is, it actually says arse. It says arse 50. So thank you very much for that, mate. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it's not a sort of Arsenal currency, but it may be. In which case, it's probably worth nothing. But anyway, no, thank you very much for your super chat there. He says, instead of improving or adding players, Jose should change the tactics and playing style. I believe this squad has the potential to win the league. You make a very salient point there, mate. You do. Because it's not like Manchester United doesn't have quality in the squad already. We have. And I think that perhaps Jose Mourinho is quite negative in the sense of not utilising the players we've got to their full potential. You've got players like Anthony Martial, Rashford, Pogba. Pogba's probably the best example to use here because we've seen what Pogba did in the World Cup. We've seen what he did for Juventus when he's given this more maybe advanced role, maybe a bit of more of a free role. And you can see how good he is for whatever team he plays in under those systems, whereas Jose likes to play him deeper, and it probably doesn't suit Paul Pogba, does it? And if he's doing that with other players, it's not just where they're playing on the pitch, but the actual instruction from the manager, whether or not it's keep hold of the ball, side passes, all that sort of thing. I would imagine a player like Paul Pogba would like the freedom to be able to get the ball, receive the ball, run, have a pop, whatever, or get his head up, look for a killer pass. Those sorts of things. And I think that you're absolutely right in the sense that we could probably be doing a lot better with the players we've actually already got now. we've got great attacking players. We've got attacking talents in the side. And we have one of the best squads in the league. So, yeah, I mean, that's going right up my flagpole, that one, mate. I'm saluting that one. That's a great comment. Thank you very much for your comment and super chat there, mate. Alex Rudd, City will spend more. I can see them offloading Jesus. Whoa, calm down now, mate. Let's not bring religion into this. No, yeah. Why would they offload Jesus, though? He's so good. I hate to say it. And I know they've got so many players up there, but he is so good, man. And that's what City's all about right now in the pet. They've got strength in depth. And he's so good. He is. Guys comments, first time in my lifetime I actually think Liverpool have a good chance of winning the league. Oh, don't say that, mate. Do not say that, mate. It's sickening. But yeah, I mean, you're not far wrong, are you? Klopp has done wonders at Liverpool, to be fair. I mean, okay, they haven't really set the world alight in terms of their finishing positions, although they have been getting better. The problem for them is they're coming up in a period that is very difficult to actually win the league, because you've got City, you've got Guardiola at the helm of them, and you've got their money bags, and you've got their unbelievable squad that they've already got. They're always going to be such a tough team to topple right now, because they've probably got one of the best managers in the world there, who's shown how consistent they can be, who's shown that they can play lovely football, keeping hold of it, working it, and with one goal in mind, which is to tear the opposition apart as well. Maybe not to the degree and the directness and the excited way that Liverpool do it, but certainly still to a very nice degree. What pisses me off about this whole situation, actually, I know we were talking about this Alisson thing, I'm going off on tangents here, but it's that out of those three clubs that are probably the most likely to challenge for the title, is that we actually play the shittest type of football. And what I mean by that is it can be really boring and frustrating and not attacking. And we expected that, getting Josie in there, and I'm one of those people that said, let's get Josie in there. And I'm happy we've got Josie in there, but it is very, very disconcerting when you think about Manchester City playing better football than us, when you think about the Scousers playing better football than us. I mean, Alex Ferguson, surely the way he used to play was night and day between Jose Mourinho. Of course, there were times when we didn't do that well under Jose, we got battered when we shouldn't. Under Alex, and we got battered when we shouldn't have, and times when we have to be defensive and set up defensively. You've got to do that, but we just didn't do it to as much as an extent as Jose does against shit teams. It's like, why are we playing defensively against West Brom, mate? Seriously, when we're at home and all that sort of stuff. Cher Myers comments, why haven't we addressed the positions where we lack quality? We need a natural winger. I don't blame Mourinho. I blame the idiots who are in charge of the transfers. Very good point there, Cher, because Jose's just one man, and it's all about the people like Woodward and stuff at this club who are supposed to manoeuvre and negotiate these types of deals and attract these players to the club and get them in there and actually deal with that sort of the side of the transfer. So really the impetus, Jose can say, I want this player, but it's all about the guys behind the scenes who've got to actually manufacture these moves. So totally agree with you there. You make some really good points. We haven't addressed these problem positions. We've been crying out for a centre-back for years. We really have. Eric Bailly is a great addition, but if you look at the likes of Jones and Smalling, I mean, really, they're just not quite up to the standard. It's not like they're ever going to fulfill that role of being that Vidic or that Ferdinand, whereas Bailey will, in my opinion. And if he won't, he'll do a damn good near job of doing it. And then if we sign somebody like Maguire, that would be absolutely fantastic. But we've at least got to go out there and sign somebody. And if it's not Maguire, it's got to be another top quality centre back. And we've got to look at getting that duo defensive destruction partnership in place again in order to take the club forward. And then, like you say, we need a winger. 100% we do need a winger. Perisic is a player that's been thrown around time and time again for the last season or two about a player who may be potentially coming to Manchester United. And he's a player I would like to see at Manchester United. Maybe we could go and get a better player than Perisic, but I think Perisic is a good player, and why wouldn't we want to add quality to our side in the positions that we're weakest in? Surely that's exactly what we should do. So it's even more frustrating that this lack of movement in the transfer window for Manchester United is probably been highlighted more by the fact that these other clubs are bringing in top players, spending big money on players, and Manchester United just aren't really doing that right now, are they? So it is quite frustrating. Prakash Kumar comments and says, City got more players for that money. United has to spend more. Good comment. Yeah. I mean, we've got to spend some more. We have to spend more. And like you say, if you look at the players that we brought in for the money that we paid for them, Pogba, I know he's been fantastic for France. in this World Cup, and he is obviously a really good player. But in a United shirt, he's just not quite lived up to the hype, lived up to the transfer fee that was involved. Maybe he could still do that. I'd love for him just to put in an unbelievable season this year and get player of the season or something like that, and just prove all the doubters wrong and really kick on in his Manchester United career, because it would be a big shame if he just falls by the wayside. He cannot continue this inconsistency in a Manchester United shirt, whether you think it's Jose's fault or his own fault, whatever you think. He cannot continue this inconsistency in a United shirt for another season. He just cannot, because it's too frustrating. And we need somebody in there who can really, really just do it week in, week out to a very high level, which I think that he can. And I think Jose needs to lighten up a little bit and give him a bit more of a free role, a bit more advanced, that sort of thing. So, yeah, totally agree with you. Sheila Boy comments, hiya, Sheila. Need to spend money. The players we have got defensively really aren't good enough. Shout out to the pig. Thank you very much, mate. Shout out to you if you're a lady. Your name's actually Sheila Boy. So it's like, I don't know if you're a Sheila or a boy. But, you know, thank you for your comment there. Yeah, defensively we've been weak for such a long time, and 100% that is our key problem areas, as it was for Liverpool last season. What did they do? Sign Van Dijk, and now they've improved their goalkeeper situation, and obviously now Karius is not going to be the calamity for them, which is a big shame. I used to love it when Liverpool didn't have Van Dijk and they had that melter in goal, or they had Mignolet or some other melter. It was so great because you knew they just had so many calamities in them, so many errors in them, and you were going to watch some absolute howlers from time to time. And it doesn't matter how good they were going forward, it was like they were almost equally as bad at the back. And that was just so fun to watch as a Manchester United fan. But now, who knows? Who knows? I mean, I know it's not just as simple as putting a jigsaw piece into the puzzle and expecting it to be complete. It's obviously a lot to do with the manager, the tactics, all that sort of thing. But you have to say the signings Liverpool have made over the last season definitely improved their starting 11. It's like, think about when they got rid of, or not got rid of, but when they let go of or had to allow the transfer of Coutinho. Like everybody was saying, oh, watch Liverpool just melt now. But no, they used that money and they bought Van Dijk and it improved them defensively. And they didn't really lose anything attacking-wise going forward because they were already very talent-rich in those departments, like Manchester United are. It's like we don't really need to go out there and necessarily address the attacking positions in our side, because we've got players like Lukaku who should be top drawer in the Premier League for the next 5, 6, 7 years. And then we've got players like Rashford who should be top draw for the next 10 years, and Martial and these sorts of attacking talents. It's other places in the team that we need to address. I would love another winger though, I really would, and I'd love another centre mid and also a centre back. And not only a centre back, but realistically, you know, maybe another wing back as well, because we just let Blind go, got Luke Shaw, you know. I mean, you know, we could do with strengthening some positions where we are weak, no doubt about that. Man, it's hot in here. I'm absolutely sweating my titties off. But, yeah. Alex Rudd again. How's it going, mate? He says, been a while from you. I haven't commented for a good 5 minutes. He says, Arsenal should improve. I think we'll go through an easier Europa League and sneak into the Champions League. Yeah, the thing is about my mate, Alex Rudd, is he is a dirty Arsenal fan. So he does come out with BS comments like that from time to time. We will go through an easier Europa League and sneak into the Champions League. Well, that's optimistic, Alex. For your sakes, I was going to say I hope that's right, but that's not true. Stephen Zevon comments, Pig must be ecstatic as he's a closet Liverpool fan. Yeah, come on, you never walk alone, mate. Oh, actually, maybe it's a little bit sick in my mouth when I said that then. No, 100% not. Daryl Brennan comments, I'm a local scourer. Really, yeah, it doesn't surprise me with a name like Daryl Brennan, to be fair. That does sound like such a pure Scouse name. But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by, mate. Thanks for taking a break from robbing cars and stopping by and commenting on this video. Oliver Heaney. How's it going, Oliver? You're on the fruit pipe, pig. You're very astute. I'm here, your number one scouser, Alisson in Wonderland, mate. Oh, no. What's he got and done there? Alisson in Wonderland. Sickening. He's not in Wonderland, though, is he? Nobody could ever call Liverpool Wonderland. Maybe Plunderland, but not Wonderland. But no, fair enough. I love your optimism and your enthusiasm there, Oliver. Thank you very much for your comment as well. Yeah, you've got to be happy, don't you? Because, quite frankly, any signing in the goalkeeper position would have been good, because Karius, you know, I feel bad for the lad, because after that Champions League calamity, you almost just want him to be able to pick himself up from his bootstraps and get back in there and and just suddenly be a good goalkeeper and learn from it and put it behind him and all that sort of stuff. But unfortunately, I think most Liverpool fans, Kloppy certainly, just don't think he's got the ability to actually do that and turn into one of the best goalkeepers in the world, which I guess is what Klopp thought he could potentially do, but not anymore, which is why they've gone and spunked all this money on this goalkeeper that you signed, Alisson in Wonderland. I like that, mate. I really do. Sea Balloon Casper comments and says, I want Memphis back. Are you serious? You want Memphis to play back at the club? Fair enough. I mean, I haven't actually really followed his career since he's left, but while he was at the club, he was absolutely gastastic. And I wouldn't touch him with yours again, mate. But, thank you very much for for your enthusiasm there. Mr. Anonymous, this is the market right now. It was either Alisson for 67 mil or Oblak for 89 mil. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I do hear you. There's so much money being spent at the moment. It was just a matter of time before that goalkeeper record was broken again. But it's a crazy amount. It really is. Although it's a very important position. One thing that I think is that goalkeepers just don't get the credit they deserve. And they are match winners. Look at David De Gea. It's like, really, if we didn't have David De Gea for the last 3 or 4 seasons, I mean, you just had a good goalkeeper in there, and not a great goalkeeper, which is what he is. Maybe not this World Cup, but in general, for Manchester United, he's been player of the season pretty much every single season. And he's basically saved us about 15 points every year with crucial key saves that literally win us games and win us points. So it's one of the most important positions on the pitch. In my opinion, it's every bit as important as the number 9 striker who's banging them in the back of the net for you. It's every bit, it's maybe even more important than that in a way, because the amount of top quality goalkeepers that are pure game changers at the very highest level, the number of them is very, very, very small. I mean, I can name you, in my opinion, like maybe 10, 20 really, truly top quality world-class goalkeepers in the last 10 years. And I'm going back to Casillas and Buffon and, Lloris is probably in there, De Gea. It's really not that many. Neuer. And then it starts getting a little bit cloudy. Do you know what I mean? So it's it's such a hard position to play in, and there's so much competition in terms of, obviously, there's only one spot on the team for a goalkeeper. And to be the very best goalkeeper or the top tier of goalkeepers, it's very, very few of them that actually get there. So, yeah, if Alisson does turn out to be one of those players, then it will be money well spent for Liverpool in this current transfer market, because 67 minutes sounds insane for a goalkeeper, but it's not with the way the transfer market's going. It's just not, especially if he is in the handful of the best goalkeepers in the world, which supposedly he must be for that sort of money, even though I've not really seen too much of the lad. Sea Balloon comments, we need a signer, world-class centre-back and a better bench player. That's it. Yeah, 100%. Get Maguire in. I don't see why we wouldn't get Maguire in. I think out of the World Cup, if you look at the players from the World Cup, the players that have really done themselves a lot of good in terms of their global reputation, in terms of their domestic reputation, then you have to look at players like Pickford in goal, Trippier, and of course Maguire, who's probably number 1 in my opinion for who came out of the World Cup with the most props from me anyway, because I thought he did a marvellous job defending for the Three Lions, and I think he could be such a good addition to Manchester United because he's still young, he's a big unit, he's really good on the ball, really good defensively, great header of the ball, and maybe not that important from a global fan's point of view, but from my point of view, it's really important to have that spine of really good English players in a team like Manchester United, which we've maybe lost that over the last few years, really. If you go back to when Fergie was in charge and stuff, it's like we always had so many British players, at least, playing in the side. And Jose, you knew that wasn't going to be so much. We've still got players in the squad, of course, that are English. But yeah, we've got to keep bringing these English players in and let them be the future of Manchester United and give them opportunities. I think if you sign Maguire, you might have to spend 60 million again on to sign a player like Maguire. But he is going to improve our starting 11, I think, which is what we need to do right now if we're going to stop Liverpool from catching up with us. And more importantly, I'd say, well, not more importantly, but importantly, close the gap on Manchester City, because we don't want them to run away with the title again next season. We've got to spend the money and mount a serious challenge. So, yeah, I'm 100% with you there, mate. Alex Rudd, yeah, but City just got Mahrez. How many spots can they... Yeah, that's so true. It's like... Yeah, you're talking about this Jesus comment. I think I'm shitloads behind on this feed, actually. Absolute shitloads. But yeah, you're right. They've only got so many positions, and obviously getting Mahrez, it does improve their squad, but it also means that somebody's got to go. Somebody would have to go. You cannot have that sort of top-heavy amount of players in the squad because people are just going to get pissed off. Crikey, I've been chatting for 35 minutes already. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Steve FC7, I think it's more important Man U win the league over winning Champions League. 5 years, no league title. Too long. It's way too long for the team of the Premier League era, which is Manchester United. Don't let anybody convince you otherwise and say, oh, United are passing. That bullshit. United are the best team in the Premier League history, no doubt about it, by an absolute mile. Yes, it was under a different regime, different era. We had the best manager of all time at the helm, and it was a different time. But Manchester United, we've got the fan base, we've got the global appeal, the commercialism. We're the most valuable club in the world, the most commercially successful football club in the world, I believe, as well. So, if anybody can do it, it's Manchester United. I just think we need to get the players in. The board need to pull the finger out, stop jacking off all the time or whatever they're doing, and actually sign the players, put the bids in, get Maguire in. That's what I do right away. Sean comments, love the chat pig, stay awake, United playing in 3 hours. Yeah, I know, we're playing freaking Club America, is it? Don't think I'm going to stay up for that one, I'm going to be honest with you, because it's going to be like 4 a.m. here. But no, of course I want to see how the lads get on pre-season. Very important, isn't it? Because it's just, if you have a good pre-season, then it sets you in good stead for the start of the Premier League campaign, which we need to hit the ground running. We can't have it like we've perhaps started the season in the last few years, or maybe not this last year with Jose, but where we started very, very slowly. It's quite frustrating. And yeah, having a good pre-season obviously will be very important for how we start the season. It allows the players the new players to bed in and the team to gel and get to know the system and everything. And yeah, it's very, very important. So yeah, I will be, of course, watching the highlights and everything tomorrow, but I will not be awake for that one, my son. Anyway, everybody, I think I'm going to wrap it up here, but I'm really loving the response from you guys, the interaction from you guys. Really appreciate it tonight. It's pretty late. I was feeling tired, but this has perked me right up, to be fair, talking to you guys. So thanks to everybody who's got involved with the comments. If I have missed your comments, I'm so sorry. There's quite a lot on here, and obviously I can't really read all of them. But if you did comment and I didn't reply to it, then I would have replied to it if I saw it. Basically, that's all I'm going to say. Brian Sheridan, love you, man. Come to Ireland. Why do I want to come to Ireland, mate? What are you proposing there, mate? You love me and you want me to come to Ireland. What for, Brian? No, thank you very much, Brian. I've never actually been to Ireland. I would love to come to Ireland, mate. Have a couple of Guinnesses. Do you know what I mean? Why not? But thank you very much for your love there. Hope you don't hope you don't feel bad about my sarcastic comment there. I actually do genuinely want to come to Ireland one day and appreciate the love that you're showing me on these comments here. So thank you very much, mate. Right then, we'll wrap it up there. To everybody who has tuned in, do us a favour, chuck us a like on this video. If you've happened to be new here and stumbled across this video and you've never seen this beautiful mug here and you've never seen this oddly named channel, click that subscribe button down there, Flying Pig United. Give that a click. There's also a bell somewhere. You can click that to be notified of when new videos are published on this channel. If there's any hardcore people out there who really want to support this channel, then you can do so by checking out my Patreon page. There may be a link in the description, I'm not sure. If not, then it may just be patreon.com/flyingpigunited or shit, I've forgotten it. Mr. Flying Pig, maybe you'll be able to find it. Give it a Google. But anybody who wants to really support the channel, you can do so on there. So anyway, thank you so much for getting involved, everybody, tonight. Let me know your thoughts and opinions afterwards once this video has been published. I want to hear from you Scousers. All you Scousers, take a break from robbing grannies and get your thoughts and opinions in about the signing of Alisson for Liverpool. Okay? Get your thoughts and opinions in. I want to know what you guys think about it. Do you think it's money well spent? The neutral fans, the United fans, what do you guys think about it? I think you've got to really say that they've improved their team. Regardless of the money, they've improved their team. Or have they? Let's hope that he does an absolute Bravo melt job or something. And, we'll see. But everybody tune in. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you very, very soon. This is The Pig on Flying Pig United. Have yourselves a good one. Take it easy. And come on, United.